When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. How are you on this Thursday? Good to see you. Robin, Gary, how are you? How are you? Reblinks, how are you? PM, hello. Hey, Marlene. Lynn, good morning. Marine Hero, good to see you. As you're coming in, if you would, please retweet. Hey, Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo, how are you? Hey, Monica, good morning. Do you get called J-Lo a lot, Jennifer? I mean, I would think that you would. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Thank you for inviting your followers. Hey, Murr, how are you? Tom, good to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know a lot of people aren't getting their notifications. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, but Jennifer, if you have her money, it's even better, right? If you're called J Lo all the time and you've got that J Lo money. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple of verses of. Let's see, which one do I want to do? Let's do Psalm 53. The fool has said in his heart, "There is no God." They are corrupt and have done abominable iniquity. There is none who does good. God looks down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek God. Every one of them has turned aside. They have together become corrupt. There is none who does good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call upon God? There they are in great fear, where no fear was. For God has scattered the bones of him who encamps against you. You have put them to shame, because God has despised them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion when God brings back the captivity of his people. Let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. Amen. All right. Well, we're still having earthquakes here. We had a 3.1 yesterday, which was just a kind of a jolt like that. Hey, Lori, I cringe when I hear someone say there is no God. I know. And there are people who do. Soros is busy at work. That's right, Brandon. He absolutely is. I think that he's behind all those Hondurans that are coming to the United States, which, by the way, the president has said it's swelled to, 4,000 right now. And the president has said he's going to call out the military to the southern border if Honduras and Guatemala and Mexico, don't stop it. Now, Mexico has called in about 500 more federal police, supposedly, to try to stop them from crossing the border. We need to do this. This is an invasion. This isn't people who are coming here to seek asylum, although they say they are. This is an invasion. They will be disappointed when they are told to turn around. Distraction tactics. Yeah, so close to the election, J-Lo, right? I'm going to call you J-Lo because it's so close to the election. You don't think the timing is there? They're giving each one $7,000. Mike, I wouldn't be surprised. Coyotes will try to scoop them up. Yep, probably. Hey, Wayne, good to see you. Yeah, basically right now, those people that I know down in Tucson, they're seeing a lot of people come across the border. Didn't he say he said he might close the borders or something? Yes, Monica, with the military down at the borders. I say bring it on, get them down there. And, people like Jerry Brown better step out of the way when he closes down the border in California. Hey, Patrick. I hope that he does that. This is an invasion of the United States, of all that we hold dear, of our culture. There's no telling who these people are. There's no telling what they want to do to this country. And they may all be innocent. I don't know. And that's just it. We don't know who these people are. I think they're paid people from Soros, that's about it. So, if you want to stay in Mexico, you can be a refugee in Mexico. They've already said that you can, but stay out of our country. Enough is enough. There's been an increase. I wrote this down. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Um, in September, Border Patrol agents apprehended more than 41,400 people. Tactic to make Trump look bad about his border politics? Absolutely, J-Lo. It was timed perfectly with the election. They want people to see it. Even the media is saying, "Oh, it's made up of a lot of children." I read this is pathetic. What I read this morning, one guy who said, "Yes, I left my wife and children in Honduras because things were so bad and people were dying." What kind of person are you? What kind of man are you? Hey, Tom and Alan. When you leave your wife and children in a place where you say that people are getting murdered and you leave for your own safety. Does that make sense to anybody? I would turn that guy around just on principle alone. We are being invaded by persons of another country. The military option is the answer. Thank you, Patrick. They were probably bought cheap just for food and travel expenses to the land of the free. Exactly, Monica. Innocent my butt, Lynn said. I'm so sick of the media BS. I'm sick of it too. I'm really sick of the media BS. That's why we need to continue, to look for other platforms to get out the word on our own, to, share the periscopes, things like that. Because we need to get the truth out there. There's so many people that have no idea about the truth. Here's what most of the people are. Well, let me finish this first. Pompeo is going to travel let's see, where is he going? Tomorrow he's going to Mexico. And he's going to travel there to try to talk to the president of Mexico and get him to keep people back keep him there in Mexico. There's someplace else he was going to go today. And I know he just spoke, and he was speaking about, I don't watch Miss Sim, I watch Susan and Grassroots Media. Thank you, Brandon. He was talking about what's going on in Saudi Arabia, about Khashoggi, the Washington Post journalist that was supposedly killed. Hey, Dawn, good morning. I want to know what you guys think about what's going on there. What do you think happened to Khashoggi? Why are we so interested in what happened to Khashoggi? I mean, having anybody die is horrible, but why suddenly are we so interested? Does anybody have any thoughts about that? About what's going on? Prince had him killed, Marlene said. And Marlene, why? Anybody, any thoughts about why? Why are we so interested? Why did this come up? Lynn thinks an American killed him, I guess. 82nd Airborne, please deploy to our southwestern borders. Yes. They want to blame Trump for it? Absolutely, Alan. Well, Alan, in what I think that you're talking about, outspoken about the leadership. Yeah, he was outspoken about King Salman, I believe. He's a Muslim Brotherhood guy. Yes, Mike, he is. I think this is, hey, Alexis, timed right around the election again, where you can say, I don't think we should go through with the contracts that we have with telemarketers, Monique. Monica, that we shouldn't go through with the contracts we have with Saudi Arabia. Hey, Cully, very touchy situation. Yes. Now, I just think it's odd, other than the fact that we have this, truth is absent. Yeah, there's something else, Lynn, in my mind, something much bigger than we're being told. I know that he was outspoken against King Salman. I know that he was with a Turkish girlfriend and trying to get, married to her. Of course, election will have caravan arrive too. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Alexis. But it just, let's see, Dawn said, think there's more than we know. Like, why was he being interrogated? Yeah, attempt to blame Trump on attacks to the press. This is a Turkish criminal matter. And why are we so involved? I mean, the only reason I think that we're involved is because we have those contracts with Saudi Arabia. We don't want those to go by the wayside. We've had this long-standing relationship with Saudi Arabia. There are a lot of people who think, yeah, he is supported by Muslim Brotherhood. Absolutely. There are a lot of people who think that this is Turkey's doing, that Turkey wants to ruin our relationship with Saudi Arabia, and that Turkey's Erdogan is crazy enough that he would set something up like this in order to make that happen. Something doesn't seem right to me. Now, there are a lot of people, reporting this, and of course, this is all rumor because we don't know. And Pompeo just said that Turkey and Saudi Arabia are going to be doing an investigation. They're going to share the information. They're going to share the information publicly when they get finished. But it's being reported, as you may have heard, there seems much more to the story. Absolutely, Tom. Everything in me is saying there's more to this story. We can't call out other countries for human rights violations and not call Saudis on it, Marlene said. Soros is behind it all. Could be, Mike. They're saying that there's an audio tape of the murder. He was supposedly murdered within minutes. This is the rumor again. It's not verified, so don't take this as truth. That Saudi Arabia then sent a 15-man hit squad. Hey, Bub. And they beheaded and dismembered Khashoggi. And they said you could hear the doctor telling people to listen to music or whatever, that while the beheading was going through, that it would help ease the tension. And that the killers were gone in about 2 hours. Now, I don't know. Again, something is just not sitting right. Don said that, and the Saudis are helping, so to speak, as far as Israel go. That's true. And that's another thing that Turkey would not want. They would not want the Saudi Arabians to be, quote unquote, friendly with Israel. So, but my question is, if all of that's true, which, all of it sounds good, meaning good to be viable and be a reason for all this happening. Why this guy? Why didn't they do something else? Why did they use this guy? So I don't understand. There's something that just isn't fitting in with everything else. That guy worked for fake news. No, he didn't really. Susan, you need your help will something. Susan, you need your help will something. I don't understand, Kim. Yeah, he worked for Washington Post. I mean, that is fake news, but I don't think that's why he was killed. He was related to that big arms dealer. Maybe. I don't know, Cully. Cover up, Lynn said. Why should we even care about this Khashoggi? See, that's Bob. That's my whole thing. This is between Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Why are we getting involved? And I think, if anything, the only reason we're getting involved is because the contract. Saudi Arabia kills a man and chops him. Well, Kim, that's what the rumor is. I swear it was a frozen day. I had to restart 3 times, Pamela said. Wow. It's another Clinton hit. Could be, Monica. You just never know. But again, there just seems to be like either a bigger connection that this Khashoggi had, because we're knee deep with Saudis. Marlene, we've been knee deep in with Saudis for like 30 years. This isn't something new. Something tells me this Khashoggi guy either knew something more, some bigger connection, something. We need to keep our nose out of it, Kim said. Yeah, and we are not keeping our nose out of it, Kim. We're doing anything but. Do you think he may have found something that they didn't want out? It could be, Dawn. I mean, that I would more believe than everything that we're being told. Self-suicide via self-cut-up. Yeah. Don't think either one of that. Yes, found something. I know, Lynn. And what was that exactly? Turkey, Erdogan isn't very well liked at all. So, I don't know. Did he find something out about Turkey? Did Turkey feel that... I mean, he wasn't betraying Turkey. He wanted to marry a woman in Turkey. He was going there to kind of, I guess, get permission to do that. Saudi Arabia, supposedly, was asking him to come back, was going to pay him money, give him a big job, whatever. So, they were wanting him back. So, why... I don't know. And I know that he was speaking out against Turkey. Let me try this again. Okay, Kim. Hey, Carmen. He was speaking out, against Saudi Arabia, but is that enough to kill him? You know what I mean? Hey, Carmen. They had to send a message to someone, then to chop him up. They want done for him. They had to do for show. Hey, Jerry. I'm not sure I understand that, Don, but I guess you're saying that was a threat, like using him as a threat to show everybody else this could happen to you. I don't know. Again, something seems missing. In America, we kill and chop up 40K humans each year. Probably more than that. I'd say about 60, Kim. I think Turkey killed him with the turkey in the parlor, Pamela said. In the Saudis' eyes, yes, it was enough. You must be speaking of Khashoggi. Yes, as the Middle East begins to align with Bible prophecy, we don't sell weapons to them. Russia will. Well, Russia and Turkey are already together. We need to reassess our Saudi relationship. We've had that Saudi relationship for, like I said, over 30 years. I mean, it's something that we've done. And Saudi Arabia, why is abortion and what Saudi Arabia did? Are you saying why is abortion and what Saudi Arabia did any different? First, yeah, well, Kim, we don't know that Saudi Arabia did it for sure. I mean, that's what they're trying to find out. It may be that they did, but we don't know. I think there's a lot behind this we don't know yet. I think so too, Jerry. And I don't know that we will ever know. That's, and also they're saying, that Saudi Arabia is helping us with like intel and what's going on in the Middle East. I mean, as I said the other day, everything is lining up with end times Bible prophecy. Turkey and Sudan are together. Iran and Russia and Libya are now together. And it was a Turkish embassy. It was the Saudi Arabia in Turkey, Lynn, is where it happened. So we have Turkey and Sudan, Iran, Russia, and Libya now all lined up, which in the Ezekiel 38 and 39, it is those people who are supposedly going to go into Israel and attack Israel. Wait, what consulate and in what country was he killed again? It was the Saudi Arabian consulate in Turkey, is what I understand. Saudi funds radical America, hating around the world. 9/11 hijackers were Saudi, Tom said. The Russians have their hands in too many cookie jars in the Middle East. Well, that's end times prophecy, Jamie. That's why they have Libya now. And Libya, people like myself are going, how in the world are we going to get like Africa involved with Russia? And how's that going to happen? How are they going to go in to Israel and bringing Africa with them? Well, there you go. That's Libya invited Russia in to help them. Trump to send the military to the border. Yep, Jamie, we talked about that. It would have happened if they would have gotten him back. He wouldn't go. Missed a little, are we playing Clue? Yes, we are, Wayne. So, I mean, it's all lining up. And in the very end, in the end times, the United States and Saudi Arabia, when all these groups, these people, these countries go into Israel, Saudi Arabia and the United States will not help Israel. Better pray, call to God, reveal the truth, praying for the president. Absolutely. Alexis, every day. So, maybe this is why Saudi Arabia won't be helping. Maybe this is some of the reasons. Maybe the United States, we don't know what that means. Bible has said it, and it's happening. Exactly, Jamie. It is happening. If they wanted to kill him, they would have done it covertly very easily. Sounds like a setup. Yeah, Jerry, there's something is absolutely wrong. I think Saudi Arabia is being framed. Gregoria said, I think so too. And for Kavanaugh, yes, that's on the 20th is when the witches are going to be putting a hex on Justice Kavanaugh, rapists, and the patriarchy that allows him to do what he did, according to the witches. So, and timing just before the midterms. I know. It's all, Jerry, this is all too, You put a hex on them, Alexis. Alexis, I don't put a hex on them. I just let God take care of the evil. I just ask God to take care of the evil. I don't have to put a hex on anybody. I think the Saudi prince is a renegade. Could be Marlene, but, the witches burned them at the stake, Jamie said. Hey, been having slow data issues. Daniel. So, I don't know. Again, I think there's so much more behind what's going on. I think it is to hurt the relationship between Saudi Arabia and the United States for sure. Yes, don't do curses. Yeah. Hey, Deanna. Don't do curses on people, just ask God to handle it. Yep. Can you recommend a good article comparing current events to biblical prophecies? Well, have you ever watched God's Views on Political News, Tom? That's on SusanKnowles.com. It's a show I do every Tuesday with my co-host Bill Cloud. And we talk about end-time prophecy, and we talk about all kinds of political issues with that. Now, you could also listen to J.D. Farag, F-A-R-A-G, who is on YouTube. He does end-time Bible prophecy every Sunday. I would suggest that you go and listen to him. And also Amir Sarfati from Behold Israel. All those are good. But if you're not watching God's Views on Political News, you ought to be. What happened yesterday? No, Monica, I'm off on Wednesdays. I take Wednesdays off. Thanks, Tom. Just go to SusanKnowles.com and scroll down. You'll see the video replay. If you want to join us live, you'd have to go to Facebook. Let's put it this way. God is aware of what is happening. Read your Bible. Absolutely. Good to know. Monica said, give Susan a day off. And can I tell you something? When I take the day off from here, I'm doing other things. I will tell you next week. I will unveil, if it will, what is new and happening for me. I think it's really exciting, but I was working on that, and so I don't have a day off actually, but I do a day to do this new project that I'm doing with other people. I think that you're going to like it, and it's exciting for me. So we'll see. I'll unveil it next Monday and let you know what's happening. Mir Safadi, J.D. Farag, God's Views on Political News. Yeah, but that's an apostrophe S with the gods. It's only one God there, Carmen. Don't forget that apostrophe. It's important. It's important. So anyway, but thank you, Deanna. I'll let you know next week what it is. And I think it's pretty exciting. You can tell me, I won't tell anyone. Well, thanks, Wayne. I appreciate that. Let's see. So, what is Netanyahu saying about this stuff? Netanyahu, well, what's going on at the Gaza Strip? Netanyahu is telling them basically, you need to stop, or we'll stop you. So there's been rockets going into the Gaza Strip. There's so much going on. There was just an announcement, so I haven't been able to go read into it further. But Pompeo just announced that the United States is merging its diplomatic office for Palestine into the Jerusalem embassy. So that, Jamie, that says a lot more than just what it says on its face. The Turkish Customs Arrival Hall has passed and crew details from Saudi. They know who they are. Okay, I didn't really get that at all, but, I just read it incorrectly. So anyway, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? There's going to be that deal of the century sometime that's going to be released. We don't know when. It kind of keeps getting pushed back a little bit. But again, that deal is going to be a peace agreement between Israel and Palestine. And I don't know what it's going to amount to. Israel has felt that the United States knows that they're not going to give up any of their land. They're not going to give up their own protection. So I don't know exactly what Palestine would get. Palestine supposedly is not working with the United States on this peace agreement. They don't want to have anything to do with it. The United States has said, we would really prefer that you work with us because we want this agreement to be yours and Israel's. But apparently they're not doing that. I think a lot of people in the United States maybe are waiting for the Palestinian leader to die, and maybe they're hoping that things will change. I don't know. And we're not hearing much about him. And how his health is. I mean, for a while it seemed like his health was bad, but I've got no idea. So anyway, the big deal though that people are talking about this morning, and this is Palestine they don't want peace. Of course not. They don't. They want the destruction, Deanna, of Israel. That's all they've ever wanted, and that's all they will ever want until the day the world ends, because that's all they want, and they've made no bones about it. So any agreement that they're going to have, again, if this is the agreement that is talked about in the Bible, then it will be where 3.5 years, if this agreement is entered into, that's when Israel will find out basically that it made a deal with the devil, literally the Antichrist. So we'll see, but who knows if this is the agreement. It certainly seems like everything is sort of lining up according to Bible prophecy, though. Like I said, Ezekiel 38 and 39. They want to go back to the old days of hijacking planes. I know, Jamie. And killing them off one by one if they have to. But yeah, there's a lot going on at the Gaza Strip, and it just, I mean, I don't even know how these people, you know, according to Amir, though, it's like, he said, you know, if you don't live right next to the Gaza Strip, you don't really know about this stuff. It's not as big of a deal as they make it in the media. They make it more of a big deal in the media that, oh my gosh, rockets are coming in, this, that, and the other. They pretty much stop it at the border. So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Again, I don't know if this is even the big agreement that is talked about in the Bible. It seems like it could possibly be. It's like, how do they sleep at night? Yeah. Good morning, Junior. But, you know, with everything else lining up for biblical prophecy, Bible prophecy, it could possibly be that this deal of the century is the deal. I mean, look, we have a president who on the 70th anniversary of Israel moves the embassy to Jerusalem, recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel when nobody's done that as a president. So, you know, there's a lot of people who felt that President Trump coming in sort of stopped everything for end times. I think in a lot of respects, he's sped it up. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. For me, that's a good thing. Because I'm waiting for God's return. That's where I want to be. You know, Maranatha, I want God to come back. For everybody else who's stuck in the world and wants to be here and this is all you have, then you're not feeling the same way, and I get it. I think we look at it as a big deal because we line it up with prophecy. That's right, Dawn. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is, I don't know how you bring all these people together, you know, Iran, Russia, Turkey, Sudan, and Libya, have them all together, which is, the odds of that happening are so extreme. And then, you know, they go apart and then they come back. I mean, yes, it could happen. Will it happen? I don't know. I really don't know. And things are getting bleaker, you know, financially for those countries because of what's happening. And if Turkey, you know, if it's found out that Turkey did this to make it look like Saudi Arabia, what is that going to do to Turkey? What kind of sanctions would we put on Turkey? You know, so it's not going to be good. Robin said, I'm listening. I had to get up and take my husband to the airport at 4. Just wanted you to know I'm still here. Thank you, Robin. I don't know. Do you really think we're going to find out? Do you think this report is going to be conclusive? Or is it going to be the Saudis are going to point fingers at the Turkish people, and Turkey will point fingers at the Saudis? I kind of think it's going to be like this. And that's what we're going to get. Boycott Turkey for Thanksgiving. Bob, the report on who killed Khashoggi. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, it's coming up on midterms. And of course, speaking of midterms, as I said when this first started, the Mueller investigation, remember when he was first appointed, I said, this is going to go straight through the midterm elections, and if they can find a reason to take it through 2020, they certainly will. So I guess his report is not due out until after the midterms. And I don't know what that report's going to say. One guy will take the fall for the murder. Probably, Marlene. Early voting going on in North Carolina, Jamie said. Hey, Teresa. You know, that's why, I don't do mail-ins. I know a lot of people do mail-ins. I don't trust mail-ins. I really don't. I want to go down there. I want to put my vote in the box. I mean, what I've marked, put it in the box. I mean, yes, something could happen to it afterwards, but at least I know that I've done it and put it in the place where it needs to go. Crooked Hillary will testify to the murder and say, what does it matter? Junior said, what in the heck is the Republican candidates or campaigners getting assaulted by unhinged Dems? Dwayne said, me too. Yeah, the thing of it is, that was in Nevada. It was a guy who he assaulted one of the Republican campaign managers. I guess this guy is sort of an unhinged guy. and I believe that he had done that to somebody else. Why is this happening? Because the Democrats keep encouraging it. Better to let people think there is something in the Mueller investigation. Dems think it will happen, will help. Yeah, Patrick. I voted at the Board of Elections. Yeah, the register of voters, that's even better. So you ask for a paper ballot, correct? I go in, they hand you a ballot, and you fill it out, and you put it in a box, Kim. We don't do computers in California. We tried that once. I think they got hacked the first time they tried them. I don't mail in my ballot. I vote my paper ballot and slide it in the machine to count votes. Yep. Let's see. This person here, Ace, said that anybody who votes for a Democrat is an idiot, and you're right. No mail-in for me. I saw those absentee ballots fudged by Broward election workers or thrown out. Yep. Yours is electronic. I'm sorry to hear that. Kim, I don't know if you can ask for a paper ballot, but if you could, I certainly would. Sprint's holding my data captive till I upgrade. Oh, yeah, Daniel. Yep, you have to, because stuff won't work if you don't. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Remember in St. Louis with that woman, that she's a white woman, in the apartment complex, or condo complex, she stood there and she wouldn't let a young black guy in. Do you guys remember that story in St. Louis, Missouri? It happened just a couple of days ago. Do you remember that? She's a white woman. She stood there at the condo. She said to the guy, who are you? I don't recognize you. I need to see his fob. Well, they made it a racial issue, saying that this white woman, wouldn't let this black guy in, and she got fired. That's right, Star. She got fired. Well, she spoke out the other day, and yeah, Jerry, you shouldn't have skipped that story. That's probably what they wanted you to. They wanted you to look at it and go, oh, she's a racist. Well, as it turns out, when she spoke out, she's married to a black man. So if she's a racist, I don't know. Maybe nobody's told her that he's black. But anyway, she's married to a black man. And then she saw this guy coming in. And the people in the condo organization told her, if you see somebody you don't recognize, ask them for their fob, to show that they actually live here. And she said that's what she was doing. And that's why she asked him, and that's why she kind of followed to see who he is. Some other woman spoke out and said, you know what? I would have done the same thing. And she said, she goes, I even asked the FedEx people. I say to them, you buzz the place, the condo number that you want, because I don't know who you are. You say you're a FedEx guy or a UPS guy or the mail carrier, but I don't know you. So this other woman said she was also mugged in that condo a year ago, right there at that door. So again, mainstream media made this look like this woman was, a racist, when in fact, as I said, she's married to a black man, and she says that the condo complex told her, you ID anybody who comes here, because we don't know who these people are. We don't want people in here that don't live here. And they've had problems in the past. Again, if it's true, that woman who says she was mugged there a year ago. So that's really a horrible thing. And it's horrible that she lost her job and being called a racist when she isn't one. I had a nightmare about Obama organizing for anarchy, having his mob working into all the ballots across the nation. Well, I don't think that's a dream or a nightmare, Monique. I think that's, very possible. Yeah, she's married to a black guy, Jamie, and they tried to make it like she's a racist. How about the women that called 911 on the black parent at the ball game? More fake racism. And that's the thing. Like I said one time, this was a couple years back, I was in a condo complex. I was walking around. There were little girls, young little girls, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Why they were by themselves, I don't know. And this guy came into the neighborhood driving a car I'd never seen him, came into the complex, was taking pictures, what appeared to be taking pictures of these little girls. And I got on the phone and I called the police because, again, I saw no parents. I see this guy taking pictures of little girls, some guy I've never seen before, driving really slowly in the complex taking pictures. So I called the police and I said, I don't know what's happening, but I see this guy in a car. I don't know who he is, taking pictures of these little girls, and he's driving around really slow. I don't know if he's going to try to kidnap them. I have no idea. And they're like, well, ma'am, what does he look like? Well, I described the car, and then it came to him, and I said, I think he's African American. It looks like there's a black man in the car, but it's hard to tell. And the first response that I got was, well, ma'am, it's not against the law for him to be, a black man to be in your neighborhood driving around. And I'm telling you, that just ticked me off so bad. But that's the kind of response people get. They automatically say, oh, you're a racist. And they treat you like you're a racist. And so people stop calling, and it made me think anytime I called again. Yeah, I mean, it's so ridiculous. And thankfully, he left and the girls were okay because I kind of stood around. We had illegal Chinese or Asian men sleeping under our hedges in New York. We called cops. He had a machete. Wow. Bitcoin said absurd. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're supposed to call, and then when you call, you're basically treated like a racist. 9/11 operator needs a pie to the face, Jamie said. Yeah. Yeah, and the complex needs to hire better security in St. Louis, Missouri, like Jamie's saying. And apparently, where this woman was, and apparently there was no security, Jamie, and that's probably the problem. They were having her be the security, which she shouldn't have taken on that. She should have just said, no, I'm not going to do it. Have a security guard here, but I'm not going to put myself in danger. So she probably should have done that. I don't know. I think she has a pretty good chance of fighting back. Now, the man that this happened to, the black man, I think he's like 24, 25 years old. They've reached out to him. The media's reached out, and he hasn't responded. And he said, I'm not mad at her. I just want to make an example out of it. Well, make a better example by coming on and talking it out with her and setting the record straight that this wasn't about racism. Work together instead of against each other. If you guys could, we're way past the halfway point. If you could retweet this, I would appreciate it. Looks like a lot of people are getting kicked in and out. Like at the airport, if you see something, say something. Yeah, Wayne, but if you see something and say something, again, I mean, I would, but some people are going to think that you're racist. I mean, I can't pick who's in the car. I can't pick who's in the car driving slowly, taking pictures of small girls. I can't pick that person. Now, to their credit, they did send somebody out. They did stop the man, and they asked about the pictures, and he said that he was just taking pictures of the complex because he was like visiting somebody there and all that. And that's great. Yeah, I know. Say something, but not if the guy's black or whatever. I know. So I'm glad. I mean, that's all the police needed to do. Somebody reported that, that you were driving around the neighborhood. There were little girls. Is everything okay? What's the story with a 13-year-old girl abducted in Wisconsin? Hidden Gem, I don't know all the story, but I know whoever took her killed her parents. So she's in grave danger. Susan is a car racist. That's right. I should have said, well, the car's black. I don't even remember what color the car was. Maybe because she said black. I don't know. I mean, what is wrong with saying black? We say black, white. I don't get it. I see Feinstein is pushing to reopen the Kavanaugh investigation. Patrick, she's saying that in order to get reelected. That's all. She's saying that just to get reelected. I think she feels that she's in a lot of trouble in the reelection because of the fact that she's been around so long. She's 85, and you've got this young buck, Kevin De Leon, Republicans for Senate. Well, there are no Republicans here for Senate in California. And Kevin De Leon, who is Feinstein's a nut, Carmen, but so is Kevin De Leon. He's even worse. A globalist, progressive, anything that you can think of, he is. And again, he might become, there's a chance of him becoming president someday if he gets in as U.S. Senator. There's no chance that she's going to be senator. as a senator into president, and she might die this term when she's in office. Why is Nancy Pelosi out and about saying she's going to be the whip again? Because she thinks she is going to be, Jamie. She thinks the House is going to fall to Democrats. Again, if you don't get out and vote, and you don't encourage other people to get out and vote Republican, you're going to lose the Republic. You're going to lose everything that the president did, everything that he wants to do. You think the borders are bad now? My God, it's going to be. We won't even be looking at Israel anymore at the Gaza Strip. We'll be looking at our own borders because of how bad they are. Feinstein is one of the safest seats in Congress. Her and her waters are all. Yes, the chances of Feinstein get reelected are great because, yeah, I wish you could vote too, Bitcoin, because you would probably vote all red, and that would be great. Feinstein has a lot of money behind her. Her people love her for whatever reason. And Maxine Waters is probably going to get reelected too for the same reason. So, but I think, Diane's a little iffier because of the fact that Kevin De Leon, as he has said, some of his relatives are here illegally. So he may just have somebody to, vote for him. Surf's up, grab your board, and ride the red wave. Yep, her Chinese spy driver loved her too. And I'm sure she loved him, Jerry. And nobody's talking about it. And here's the thing. This is why we need to continue to push to have Dianne Feinstein investigated. And I don't know, good old Maxine, I don't know if she's really being investigated. I don't know what part they're investigating. And we're certainly not hearing anything about it. So it's not going to impact her for her reelection. Her age is a factor. That's right, Jamie. She's 85. And some of the Democrats may want her out to get that guy in because of her age. Now, if oh my God, if they get the House and let's say she's replaced, like she doesn't get reelected, who are they going to put in her place in the Senate Judiciary Committee? It may not be good. Now, I heard last night, Lindsey Graham was saying that if Grassley may go over to the Finance Committee, which I never heard him say anything, don't know why. But Graham said if that happens, then he wants to try to get that seat in the Senate Judiciary Committee. He wants to be the chairperson. I think that would be good. I think he deserves that seat. I think he would do better than Grassley. Grassley is not an attorney. He was, he had a guy, you could see him coming up and talking into his ear all the time. He was telling him the legal stuff that he needed to know. But Lindsey Graham is an attorney. He's going to know that legal stuff, and he's not going to have to turn around and ask somebody else what the rules are and things of that nature. So I think it would be good, but we have to make this happen. Yeah, Lindsey Graham's not going to be the AG, Jamie. He said he doesn't, that he doesn't have an interest in doing that. And he doesn't want to be in the administration. And you have to figure that if he becomes an AG, then he's kind of term limited until as long as his president is in. Yeah, it doesn't mean Grassley's going away, Carmen. He just goes to another committee. And Maxine Waters wants to go to that same committee. Gosh. Anyway. So I wanted you to know that about the woman. Now, the big news is that everybody's talking about on Twitter because there isn't anything important to talk about, right? Nothing happening in the world that we need to know. But Kristen Bell, who was the star of Frozen, well, she's really concerned about Snow White and what that says to young girls. That whole kissing without her consent thing. Not that, she was unconscious, and the hopes, I think, was to kiss her to bring her back to life. But let's just kind of break this down. Kristen Bell does a Frozen movie, right? And it's a Disney movie. Frozen Snowflake, Colleen said. Oh my gosh, Teresa said. So Snow White is a Disney movie, and Frozen is a Disney movie. Kristen, let me just kind of help you because I'm not sure you're thinking straight. If you want to do another Disney movie, perhaps you shouldn't be talking about another Disney movie in a negative way. Just saying. Okay, so now here's the other thing. Snow White, lived with 7 dwarfs. Was that okay? I mean, was it okay? It's not okay to kiss her, like a prince to kiss her, but she's living with 7 dwarfs, okay? And, Kristen, I don't know about this, and I don't talk to your daughters, and maybe you could talk to them about it, but I guess that abortion would be okay. And if Snow White wanted to get an abortion, that would be okay. But a little kiss to wake her up to, that wasn't okay. So, I mean, these people, dwarfophilia, there you go. Yeah, why don't you like the dwarfs? What is it? 7 vertically challenged men, there you go. I mean, it's just insanity that we've come to the point where we're talking about, I'm having to watch my tongue, where we're talking about Disney movies as something that's important and relevant to what's going on in our lives. You talk about living in an upside down fairy tale world. I mean, that's where we are right now. We're talking about Snow White as if that has some value and importance in the world right now. Robin says, so stupid. Another wacky Hollywood leftist, Jamie said. Yep. Snow White should have had a dwarf. Well, she had 7 of them, Jamie. So, I guess, but again, that's okay. Her brain is frozen. Well, you've given her more credit than I have, Cully, because I'm not sure she has a brain. But thank you for being a better person than I am in saying that. These people have nothing better to do except to come up with stuff. Yep, Frozen was really good for girl power, though. My little cousins, both sexes, love that movie. And Hidden Gem, that's great. But if you want a job with Disney and doing another movie, you probably shouldn't talk bad about an old Snow White movie. And that Snow White movie was made how long ago? We were in a different world. It doesn't fit their indoctrination agenda. Right. You can sit there and tell your little daughters, it's okay for you to have an abortion, but just don't let a guy kiss you like they did in Snow White. She was stoned when she thought that crap up, Kermit said. I have no idea. I have no idea what her problem was. 1947. Yeah, it was so long ago. I mean, my gosh. Back in 1947, they weren't openly doing stuff. They weren't having, like, X-rated movies, Did she take her daughters to any of those? Maybe those would be okay for educational purposes for her. I don't know. As a child, I thought the kiss was very valiant and romantic, not sexual. I know, Jerry. I mean, my God, these people, they just are nuts. I wrote an article today at SusanKnowles.com. Hey, Jules. It's about a feminist basically coming to the rescue and defending men. I don't know. I never thought I would see that happen. But again, we are living in an upside down world. Yep, better late than never. So if you will, go read that article. Snow White was sexually assaulted. There you go, Cully. And you know what, Cully, here's what I want to know. Was she sexually assaulted by the 7 dwarfs, or was that consensual? I'm just asking. And I think that, maybe Kristen Bell can explain all of that to us. And maybe, I don't know, maybe she wants to go to the library and sit there and we'll gather around. Do you share the articles? I don't get notifications. Teresa, I do share the articles on Twitter every day. They're also on medium.com. And if you sign up for SusanKnowles.com, if you go there and enter your email address, you will get my article every single day. Snow White was passed out drunk. Oh, God, I'm telling you. 1947 is a lot more innocent than like I wish it was today. I know, Dawn. What about Goldilocks and the 3 little pigs? Oh. Yeah, exactly. And Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. I bet the wolf was a male wolf. 3 little pigs, that's right. What were the 3 little pigs? They were just together, right? Stop, you're taking the innocence of fairy tale away, sexually assaulted. When I was a kid, to be honest with you, I never read fairy tales. She couldn't scream because the prince was holding her down, Teresa said. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sign up for daily news. Yeah, sign up at SusanKnowles.com. Put in your email and you will get my articles every single day delivered to your email. Don't assume the wolf's gender. Oh no, Brooklyn. I'm sure it was a male because you know how bad men are. And if we want to know how bad men are, we can just ask Kristen Bell because she's going to educate us on just how bad men are and how they should never be trusted, especially in a fairy tale. The Prince Frog, Beauty and the Beast. There you go. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. You know, the beast is what we call men, right? Men are just beasts. They're just animals. So there you go. So we know that that had to be a guy because he's just so horrible. But anyway, I was surprised that this feminist basically came out and stood up for men and basically said, you know what? This second wave of feminism is all about male bashing and it's poisonous. Even said that it's poisonous to women and the culture and to men. I was like, whoa, what? Let me read that again. So, never thought I would be saying that about a feminist. Snow White didn't know where, time, and how she got there and how she got. There you go. There you go, Cully. Yep. I wonder what her degree was in. Yeah. So she was drugged. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, can you? The prince said, "I drink ale and like ale." Can you imagine, like back then when that was all written and they made Snow White? Nobody had these thoughts in their heads. It was all pretty innocent, really. I mean, if you kissed a woman's hand, it was like in movies, it was oh my god. And I swear, I really wish sometimes that we could go back to. I know we're not. Good morning. You're so late. I know, Teresa. Teresa, you'll want to hear the replay. We've talked about a lot of good stuff. But I wish we could kind of go back to that time because here's what I'm getting sick of. And I said this before, and I'm sorry I'm a broken record. I'm so sick of especially millennial men, although I've seen it other than men that are millennials, calling women, cussing them out, F you, F that, C word. I think that's the most despicable, vile, anti-biblical thing that could ever be done. I really do. And I saw this guy yesterday on video. He was a millennial. This woman was standing there, and for whatever reason, I think she was Republican, he was Democrat, she was for Trump, he of course was crazy, but he was yelling at her, kept saying vile things to her. And he's like, oh, I bet you're not even married. I bet. And she's like, I don't have a husband. Whoa, I'm sure you don't. That type of thing. And she goes, I don't have a husband because my husband died in 9/11. What does this punk say? Good. I'm glad. And then goes on and starts calling her all kinds of vile stuff. That is so despicable to me. Just absolutely despicable. And yet people say that word especially to women as if it was nothing. I don't know whether you like women or not. They give life. They bring babies into the world. Men help, yes, but these women are giving birth. He deserved to be slapped. Yes, Carmen, I tell you, it would have taken everything in me not to go after this guy had I been there. Somebody would have had to hold me back. You talking to a woman like that who lost her husband in 9/11, how low are you? How low are you? Tired of these people labeling and branding everything. I am too, Jerry. Robin said that's someone I would like to punch in the face. Can you imagine when the God spirit on earth is gone? No, Teresa, I can't. I can't. I don't, and I'm glad I'm not going to be here. So horrific and disturbing. My grandma is rolling in her grave, and I can hear her now saying that certainly is not ladylike. The left are very shallow. They have no respect for life, no respect for children, no respect for women. And I'm not branding all of them and saying they're all like that. But these people who are doing this type of thing, they've got no respect. They don't even respect themselves. That's why they do it so much to women and children and on and on. Can only imagine how God's heart feels right now. Teresa, I can't. It's so dark and so evil. I don't even want to go there. The left needs to be put to sleep, Jamie said. Teresa said exactly. I mean, It's just so gross. I mean, it really is. You know, people like Stephen Hawking. I don't know if you know who he is. He's some, well, he's dead now, but he was some scientific brain. You know, that everybody wanted to be Stephen Hawking. I think he's from the UK. He wrote a book, like his final book was, you know, There Is No God. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be in a good place. And it's too unfortunate that, you know, people who feel like that, they're just lost souls. Now, I don't know about this millennial. I don't know what his religious beliefs are. It couldn't be too powerful to be doing that to another human being. They're godless and have no moral compass. Yeah. It's sad. And then you wonder, like, these people, like this guy who was saying that to that woman, is probably someday going to have children of his own and teaching children that anger. I think God's anger is growing like a volcano, Kim said. If we feel this heartbroken, can't imagine how God feels, Carmen said. He sure wasn't beating fruit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never cared for Hawkins. Sometimes his rants were way out there. Yeah, Dawn, I would say so. They're not bearing good fruit at all. No. And it was just, but they would not let up on this woman. She's like, you know, go ahead, take your best shot or whatever. You go, I'm not going to touch you. No, he's just going to verbally abuse her. And so where was Alyssa Milano? Where was Kristen Bell? Where were you, girls? And I did say girls on purpose. Where were you helping this woman? Where were you? I mean, if they want to do something, if they really want to, you know, help women, if they're there for women's rights, then you be there for all women's rights, not just the ones you choose to be there for. The lost are depraved. Exactly. Yeah, Me Too dopes. That's right. And they're basically what the Me Too people are. They're feminists. They're feminists. That's that second wave feminist that the woman in the article, Camille Paglia, that I talked about. That's exactly who they are. And it was so funny. I put that on Twitter this morning, and I saw that Camille Paglia quotes. They retweeted that. Alyssa Milano read somewhere that said she is a practicing witch. I don't know. Does she need practice? I have no idea what Alyssa Milano is. I don't think she was. I think she was in that not sitcom, but that series with the witches that time. Wasn't she one of the witches with that woman from 90210? Maybe that's where they got it. I don't know. I didn't watch stuff like that, so I have no idea. Couple other bits. Charm. There you go. Carmen got it. I think Alyssa Milano was in that one with the woman from 90210. I would love to take Alyssa Milano out behind the woodshed, Dawn said. Facebook calling for Zuckerberg to step down. Yeah, what Facebook, the shareholders want. See, Zuckerberg right now is the chairman and CEO of Facebook with 60% of the shares. They want the positions of CEO and chairman to be two separate positions because right now, as it stands, they really can't get rid of Zuckerberg. So they want him to step down as chairman, and they want to put somebody else in as chairman of the board. And as you probably saw yesterday, they're alleging that Facebook has been lying about the video metrics and about how much money people were getting. I watched Cernovich for a minute or two, and he was saying that he spent like $100,000 on Facebook to have his book advertised everywhere, and it went out to like all these people, tens of thousands of people, and yet he didn't get one person who bought a book. And I'll tell you, years ago, they were I watched this documentary on how Facebook, when you sign up for Facebook and you pay money for an advertisement, it does go out everywhere, but it goes out to nobody you would even care for it to go to. I mean, it could go somewhere in the deep, dark recesses of India or China or, you know, wherever, and they'll say, yeah, we advertised your book. We went to all these places. But it just, it goes in a dark hole. Not to change the subject, but I think Pompeo came back early because of his own safety. Just canceled a trip to Saudi Arabia, probably for the same reason. Mnuchin. You said Muncho, but I guess that's who you mean. Did Cernovich's ex-wife pay for that as part of the divorce? I know, Jamie. He got a lot of money from his ex-wife in that divorce, supposedly. Pompeo came back early, Monique, because he's going to go to Mexico tomorrow. And he's going to be talking with somebody else today about the Hondurans to keep them out of the United States. So that's why he came back early. I don't pay for Facebook ads. No, I don't either. I really don't. He cleaned her clock. I think so, Jamie. I advertised a few times for my school in India. Saw Twitter, Trump may send military. Yeah, we talked about in the very beginning, Jerry, that he is all set to send the military if need be, and I say go for it. We need to do that. All right, you guys, we are out of time. Woo! Retweet this if you will. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless everybody on YouTube. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.